Today we're going to learn about how to get out of that funk, and the quickest way to do it. What and is this phenomenal formula that I'm about to give with you, and it's very simple. It is about kindness and acts of kindness. And hold on one second here because I want to see here. Ooh, great. All right. I love it. Hello, Ingrid and Stephanos. Oh my gosh. Okay. And Ingrid, thank you that your life about the unconditional love of your daughter and your growing spirituality. Yeah, that's a big one. And today, just so you know, um, we are in not just today, but we are in a phase, a period where we have the opportunity to grow and expand our spirituality, our understanding of ourself, and our understanding of the truth of who we are. So this ties right in with this act of kindness. And thank you for all of you who are sharing your gratitudes. So when in the teaching yesterday, remember yesterday we talked about the necessity of learning to nurture and to develop that forgiveness and that compassion and that acceptance, and that we learned that it is a practice. It's a continuous process. It's not a one and done, not with others and not with yourself, right? It's something that we learn and that we develop, and the more we practice it, the more we get into the habit of it, the easier it becomes, like anything. So we're working on developing that ability to be compassionate and to be accepting of ourselves and others, and really of others and our own what we deem as mistakes. And so you want to be really remembering your diamond power, and that power that's breathing you. That power that's breathing you, it's inside of you. And it's not judging you. I can guarantee you it is not judging you. And why I know this is because judgment separates, it disconnects us. And God never leaves us. However you want to refer to God, the infinite source, power, whatever, but God never leaves us. And so there is no judgment ever from that power. We're always accepted, we're always forgiven. And so if that helps you to lean into being more accepting and allowing within yourself, just know that. And a lot of times I do hear people say, well, I feel disconnected from God. I just don't feel he's there. And I hear that, I get that, because I feel that way too at times. And what I notice is that when I'm feeling that way, I am really caught up in my own thoughts, the chaos of my small self, our personality self that's judging, that's criticizing, that's taking things personally, and that's really obsessing on those things. And when we're obsessing on those things, there's no room to let them in. That's why we don't hear them. And so I know in my own situation, what I can share with you that's worked for me is to get quiet. It's in stillness where we really connect with that part of us, that God within, and to be thankful that I am connected, or to say, I want to connect with you, but I don't feel you. I've done that as well. And what happens is it's almost like I can see this mistiness. It's like I'm going through a really foggy area, and all of a sudden the light starts to shine through and the fog starts to lift. And I hear this every single time I've done this. I've heard this: I'm here. I'm here. And it's so powerful. And as soon as I hear it, my whole body calms down. And, anxiety leaves, fear leaves, whatever it is that you're feeling, it will leave once you connect to that source. And he is always there. So, you can always connect, and remember that, because that's really is the ultimate phenomenal formula for reconnecting and getting out of a funk. But today we're going to talk about kindness and acts of kindness, because it all leads us there. And the goal is to develop kindness, not only for others, but for ourselves, In the Bible, it really does Jesus demonstrates that if we step out of ourselves, Jesus to me was all about love. Whatever your thoughts are, a lot of people have not a great connotation with Jesus, and based on different religious upbringings or thoughts or ideas that may have been imposed on you growing up. But if you actually take the time to study Jesus, what he was about was love. It wasn't about religion. Actually felt like, religion often got in the way. It was all about love, about demonstrating love, about demonstrating kindness and compassion for others. And he really talked about, if we step outside of our own lives and we create acts of kindness to people who don't expect it, to people who think that they don't deserve it, or to people who are hurting, that we could actually change the world. We could actually change the world. And he was a great example of that. He didn't turn anybody away. He preferred to be with people who were down and out, and to lift them up. And so we individually can make a huge difference in the world. And a lot of times we think, what can I do? I'm just one person in this world of billions of people. How could I make a difference? But this tool, this formula of kindness and acts of kindness, this is how you can make a difference. You showing up with kindness has a ripple effect. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But this is how you individually can make a huge difference. And it doesn't cost a penny. That's the beauty of it. It doesn't cost a penny. So let's look more closely at the benefits of kindness to ourselves and to others. And let me first start by sharing 3 ways that you personally benefit from being kind to others. So the first way is it makes you feel good, right? It makes you feel good. And when you truly are doing something for somebody else without an agenda, or without doing it to feel like you need to earn your value, and you're really just actually doing it because it's coming from your heart, and what ends up happening is that you end up feeling the truth of who you are and receiving that feeling of knowing. And when we put the well-being of others before ourselves, as I said, without any personal agenda around it, it actually stimulates the brain. And they call it a helper's high. And what happens is it starts to release serotonin, which is a neurotransmitter, which increases our happiness, which decreases stress and anxiety and depression. And it gives you the same high. They call it the helper's high, but they say that it gives you the same high as a chemical high. And it's clean, and it's wonderful, and you can access it anytime. And I love that they always link being supportive and performing acts of kindness with happiness, because they've done studies and they've shown that volunteers are happier people. People who volunteer I guess they have higher levels of happiness in their life. And so the other thing about what's released chemically in your brain when you're helping other people is that it decreases pain, it reduces your stress, and it boosts your immune system. So that's pretty awesome. So you feel good. Number 2 is that it gives you strength. It gives you strength. When you are engaged in acts of kindness, you find strength because you're tapping into the truest part of who you are, your spirit. You're really connecting to your diamond power, your spirit. And when you tap into this, you change. So you feel peaceful, you feel calm, you feel happy, and you've returned home because you're really remembering who you are. And when you're in that space, you feel foundationally stronger. And then you're able to cope more easily with things. So it gives you strength. Number 3 is that it creates connection. It creates connection. When we do things that are kind, when we are altruistic, it connects us to each other, and it transcends that separation. We talked earlier about it having a ripple effect, and let me explain more about that. Your kindness creates more kindness in who you are showing the kindness to. So the receiver of your kindness actually becomes kinder in the process as well. So now let's look at how your kindness affects and benefits other people. So kindness has a great influence on others, not only others who receive, but this, I loved learning about this. It has an effect on people who are observing the kindness. So they're not even involved. They're not doing it. They're not receiving it. They are watching. Research shows that when people see someone doing something kind, it awakens feelings of peace and serenity in them. And the feeling, this is really cool, that feeling stays because it's not expected. It's sudden and it has this unexpected nature to it. So it makes an impression, right? It's not of the everyday occurrences. And so although we want it to become that, right? But when you see somebody doing something kind, it makes an impression. And that creates a stronger memory to draw from. And so it lasts longer. The second way that it really affects other people is that it renews faith. Renews faith in human nature. And we start to see people, and instead of judging them, we start to see the goodness in them. And that gives hope. That gives hope. And a lot of times when we're in chaos, last year and a half, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of chaos, a lot of people acting in ways that many of us didn't prefer. There was a lot of judgment going on, a lot of hate actually as well. And so when you see somebody doing something kind, it takes you out of that space and it gives you hope that there is goodness in this world. And so we want to, jump on that bandwagon. And number 3 is that the person who is receiving the act of kindness, as well as the person who's watching, observing, guess what happens for them? Their happiness level goes up too. And because they actually have an increased production of serotonin as well. And so that lowers their stress, it lowers their pain, it even helps with insomnia. Yeah, it even helps with insomnia. So acts of kindness has a positive effect in 3 directions. The person who is doing the act of kindness, the receiver, and the person watching, which I think, wow, talk about a boomerang, 360 win-win-win situation. It's awesome. So now I want to share a formula that, in addition to this kindness that I believe will really change your life. And I have personal experience with it. So I want to share a personal story. But what I'm about to share with you is really powerful. And if you put it into practice, I can promise you and guarantee you that you will change and your relationships will change and your life will change, all for the better. And as I'm telling you this story, I want you to think about how you can use this tool in relationship to yourself as well, especially since we came off the self-forgiveness, and there was some challenges around that. What I'm about to share with you will help you break down those resistances and to get higher. Einstein said you can never solve a problem at the level of consciousness it was created. So we want to get above it. And what I'm about to share with you will help you get above it. So I'm really excited to share it with you. Okay, so this is a personal story, as I said, and it involves my mom. I was caregiving for my mom for many years, and she was, I would say she was a very, oh my gosh, she had such a big heart, my mom, wonderful heart. I always aspired to have that heart. And she was also stubborn and very, very private. So she wouldn't share with you what was bugging her. She would just shut down. And it was really challenging to communicate with her. And so growing up with that, I often took it personally. that it was something about me, or I wasn't good enough, or I didn't do this well enough, as we often do as kids when we're just not sure what it's about. We tend to go into a self-blame. And so there was one day when I was with her, and there was a situation that arose, and it just was like an impasse. It wasn't going anywhere, and I was getting really frustrated. I don't know if you've ever been in that situation yourself with somebody that is in your life, like a mother or a father or a child even, or a partner, but you just keep going at it and you never get anywhere. It doesn't resolve. So I didn't want to say something I regretted, so I walked away, which I always recommend, by the way. But this time I went outside and I looked up and I raised my arms and I looked, really started a conversation with God with these 4 words that I'm about to share with you is really powerful. And this is what is going to change your life. I asked the question, what would love do? What would love do? Because I just felt like I was at an impasse. I didn't know what to do. So what would love do? Because love was infinitely wiser than me. And I instantly was given a vision that changed my life forever. It was a vision of my mom and what was really going on with her. It was such a gift. It was such a gift that God gave me. And in that instant, I changed. I went from feeling frustrated and resentful and angry and all the things that were making me so inwardly, self-absorbed, to understanding what was going on with my mom. And it gave me compassion, and it gave me understanding, and it gave me, really, I would say the greatest thing that happened for me. I understood it, I accepted it, but the greatest thing was the compassion. And I absolutely did a 180. I completely shifted around. And so here's the most amazing thing. As I walked back into the house, my mom had the same shift. So my shift affected her. So this is how I'm also want you to understand how your energy can affect another person and have a ripple effect. So for the first time ever in my relationship with my mom, she voluntarily, without me saying a word, started to explain herself, which she didn't. Literally, this is the first time this had ever happened. And she was calm and she was loving. And from that point forward, our relationship changed at least 80%. So I give you these 4 words so that you can use them with other people when you're in a tug of war situation with somebody and you just are at a loss. Yeah, we need that higher perspective to be able to evolve. So what would love do? That 4-word question will give you the solution, and it will evolve any relationship or situation you're in. So I invite you to ask that question about yourself too. If you had trouble doing this for self-forgiveness exercise, ask the question, okay, I really am having a hard time, dealing with this. What would love do? And you ask it for yourself and you wait to get the answer. And this is, again, something so easy, something that will instantly elevate you, and something that is absolutely free, and something that is completely life-changing. So so write that down. Write it down. It is so important for you to remember it. Put it on posties, put it everywhere. And maybe you're thinking about a situation right now. Go ahead and share with us in the group. I would love to hear if there is a situation or a person that you can think of, or yourself, that you want to use this 4-word powerful question, what would love do, on, and post that in the group. Is it a partner? Is it a parent? Is it a child? Is it a friend? Is it your boss? Is it a sibling? Name it, or is it a situation? Maybe, I even had, I've given this to my clients over the years, and without fail, they've all reported amazing results from it. And I even had a colleague who I was sharing this with, and she told me that when she was on Facebook, sometimes people feel more, brave, that they can say things that are not always the kindest on Facebook, which is unfortunate, but it happens. It's the world we live in. So she said that she got triggered by what was written in her on her Facebook wall, but she took a moment, and before she responded, she asked that question, "What would love do?" And she came up with a whole, she was given a whole different response, and so she used that when responding to this what was said to her through Facebook. So what I love about it is you can use it anytime, any place, anywhere, with people you don't know, in any situation, and it will always bring you home to that place of compassion and that place of truth. And whenever we act from that place, we feel better about ourselves. And so when we feel better about ourselves, it's another way that we are developing self-love. So just a building blocks, right? Building blocks that really help us create the things that we're doing, the steps that we're taking little by little, doing these things to allow ourselves to really develop and build that self-love. So let's take a look now at some kindness things that, some suggestions for things that you could do. And I know that you know so many things, because I know if you're in this group that you're already doing so many of these things. But let's expand. Let's give ourselves the opportunity to expand. And so I would also invite you to write something in the group that would give other people maybe an idea. I love to share ideas on what can we do that would be a beautiful gesture of kindness. So type it in, something that you may have done or a thought that you have about it, so that we can give our experiences to other people and our ideas. So here are just a few things that I want to share with you that are really simple and pretty easy to do. One is when you're driving to, if somebody wants to get over, just to let them in, just to let them in. What's it going to delay you? Maybe a second or two, right? So just let them in. And and same thing when you're in the grocery store, if there's somebody behind you, how really beautiful to let the person behind you go ahead of you at the grocery store. This just happened to me the other day. I was behind a woman. I had one item. She had a basket full, and she turned around and saw me, and she says, "Oh, please go in front of me." I was so just absolutely so grateful to her for doing that. So, and I know she felt good about it too, because she kept smiling. And so, again, it's the ripple effect. It's the ripple effect. And of course, people saw that we're also in the line, and I saw their faces light up too. So, and I'm going to commit to doing that next time I go to the market. So, because it is such a feel good. So think about what you'll commit to. And here's a few more is, pay it forward at Starbucks, just give, say, you want to pay for the person behind you their coffee. This is a really nice one, is to give a genuine compliment to somebody, somebody that you don't even know. For example, if you get in the elevator with somebody, give a compliment. And that's always a nice thing. You can also obviously give a compliment that's genuine to a friend, a parent, a sibling, your boss, just getting in the habit of giving compliments is nice. And, but again, the caveat is it has to be genuine. And another way that you can be kind is to let go of a grudge that you have against somebody, and to tell them that you forgive them. And to also to be there for a friend who's going through a tough time, and not, this is again is a caveat, not try to fix their problem, but just be there for them to share with you. I think so many of us want to help, that we are thinking about, well, what can I tell them that will fix this? And one of the kindest things we can do is to let somebody share where they're at and how it's making them feel, without trying to fix them, so that they they can feel okay about the feelings that they're having, that they can feel that they are being heard and that they're being seen, and that it's okay to have this. Later on, you might go back and give them some suggestions if you feel that it would be helpful to them. But in the moment, allow them to share, unless they ask you for your opinion. But most of the time, people just want to be heard and acknowledged. And then also, a really sweet thing to do is to leave a thank you note for your mailman. I'm sure he would totally love that. And so, as you can see from what the training has been today, any kindness you give to others is also a gift to yourself. You absolutely benefit. And so, our homework tonight is about writing a thank you note. I love the idea of writing a personal thank you note, not a text, not an email, a personal thank you note that is so rare these days. And so, I don't know about you, but I love getting thank you notes in the mail. I just absolutely love it. And it's a whole different feeling. You're holding it in your hand, and it just is so wonderful. And so in that thank you note, you're going to also tell the person what it is that you appreciate about them, what you're grateful for, and then put a stamp on it and send it. And I can tell you, I had a mentor one time who suggested this, and it was such a wonderful experience to write out the gratitude that I had. This was to a friend who had really been there for me when I was going through my divorce, and to really let her know now from where I am to today. And this was several years ago, but where I was at that point compared to where I was during the divorce, just to be able to see it and reflect on it and have a really whole new appreciation for what she did for me during that time. And so when I sent it, I sent it literally forgetting about it. And that's what I would encourage you to do too. Don't send it thinking, you're going to wait to hear what that person says. Just send it without any agenda. Just send it because you want to give from your heart. And so I literally forgot about it. And then I got a call from my friend, and she was so almost in tears of her own gratitude of receiving it. So, you really, it's such a feel good for the other person and for you. And also, if you would like to get more involved in Random Acts of Kindness, there is a group called Random Acts of Kindness. It's actually a foundation, Random Acts of Kindness Foundation. And they give you a monthly kindness challenge to help a worthy cause or an individual. So that's something that you may want to research and get more involved with if you like the idea. And remember that, oh my gosh, I didn't announce the winner of today's prize. Wow, well, if those of you who stayed on. Oh my gosh. Okay, I just remembered that. All right, so we're going into the love bucket because I was thinking about tomorrow's prize is going to be the $200 grand prize. And so don't give up, keep going, keep writing your doing the homework and supporting each other. That's really what it's based on, is a combination of those things, and how transparent you are, and just really just the sharing and supporting. So for yesterday, the forgiveness, the gift that I'm going to be giving today is, I want to show it to you. Hold on. Because we're talking about the heart and developing more self-love. I felt that this would be a really beautiful gift for you. And it's a reminder. It's a paperweight. You can see, I don't know if you can see it here, but it's a beautiful pink heart paperweight. And you can set it out so you can see it and have it as a reminder of, always wanting to be in your beautiful heart center. And so that will be sent out to today's winner. And so here we go into the love bucket. And again, It goes to Becca. Becca, congratulations. So Becca, woohoo! Yay, Becca. So Becca, what we want to have you do is to send us your email, or I'm sorry, send us your address, and we'll get this sent out to you. And congratulations. And I hope that this is a wonderful memory for you of the work that you did with this forgiveness exercise and will continue to do. And just the reminder of your beautiful heart and the truth of who you are. All right, everybody. So tomorrow's the grand prize. Make sure you're here and watching, and know that no matter. Also, the other thing that I wanted to share with you, which you should have seen the link in the post yesterday, is that, you know, tomorrow's our last day. And so what's next? And what's next is a workshop that I'm doing that will be a continuation of this journey. It's a 1-hour workshop. You're invited. It's free. You've attended this, no matter how much you've participated, you are invited. And it's the next step for your self-love journey to deepen into a greater foundation and to build a life that you would love. And that workshop is this Saturday at 10 a.m. and it will be on Zoom. It'll be a Zoom webinar. And you should see the invite. We'll post it again today. You'll be getting an email as well today. So keep your eyes peeled. That should be going out shortly. And if you have any questions about it, you can reach out into the group and we'll help you out and support you with that. So I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be, the training is going to be focused on peace and calm, on how to attain that peace and calm no matter what situation we're in. All right, everybody. So much love to you. See you tomorrow for day 5, which is our final day. Bye now.